Welcome to Helios Education's 7th Python for Kids lesson. Today, we're going to be talking about for loops. For loops are extremely useful, and we use them to repeat. So a lot of the time in programs, we have a lot of steps that we need to do more than once. We can do them 20 times, or even 50 times, and up to 100 times, or as many times that's needed. If I want to print out the word hi 100 times, am I going to write print hi over and over and over again? No. For loops help us repeat tasks for a set number of times, and they help us do it efficiently. So I know that this syntax is going to be excessively foreign to all of you. So we have for x in range of 5. For and in are our reserved words. X is the name of our variable, and 5 is how many times x has to iterate. Each time x iterates, we print it. Now, I know the word iterate is something many of you may not understand, and I'm getting there. So, iterate is what it means to go through something. Essentially, x is going through the number 5, a whole number, and adding 1 to itself each time. So, it's going to be way clearer when we look at it. So, x starts off at 0, and 0 is the default, because this 5 is our stop value, yeah? So, x is at first 0. We print 0. How many times did we run the for loop? We have run it once. Now, x is going to add 1 to it. X is now 1. We go again. X is going to print again. We have run it. We have run the for loop twice, and x is 1. Now we're going to print x again. X is going to iterate again, and now x is 2. And we have run the for loop 3 times. Again, x is now 3, and we have run the for loop 4 times. And we go again. X is now 4, and we have run the for loop 5 times. And we go again, but oh wait, our range is 5. We have already run the for loop 5 times, so we cannot print x again. Therefore, our input is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's look. What if we want to print the numbers 1 to 5? We have what's called our start and a stop value inside our range. So, once again, x is 1. We have run the for loop 1 time. Is 2. We have run the for loop twice. X is 3. We have run the for loop 3 times. X is 4. We have run the for loop 4 times. X is 5. We have run the for loop 5 times, but I can't go up to 6 because it has to be less than this number. Just like here, we went up to 4, where it has to be less than 5. And as soon as we're done printing 5, we go up here again. X is now 6, but we look, oh wait, we have to stop at 6. You cannot print anything more. And that's the simple concept of the for loop. Simple, yet so excessively powerful. So let's look here. Now, what's this? We have 3 values. We have a start value, a stop value, and this novel thing called a step value. Now, remember back in grade school when we used to count by 2s? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Here, our step value is 2. Each time, we count by 2s. Our start value is, you guessed it, 0, and our stop value is 10. In the same way, we're going to go here, and we see that our start value is 0 and our stop value is 6, which means we have to go through all the numbers from 0 to 6 that are equivalent less than 6 and are counting by 2s. So can anyone tell me if this is correct? In fact, this output is incorrect. And the reason for that is the step value, as you can clearly see here, is 1. And that's just not good. Because as you can see here, we specified our step value already. So the correct output here would be 0, 2, 4. And can we go up to 6? Can we print 6? No, because whatever we're printing, our x, has to be less than our stop value. So this is the correct output. Now we can also do a for loop with a size. So let's say instead of printing 6 times, you want to print once for each, you want to print a number once for each letter in the word animals. So how many letters are in animals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the same thing as saying, replacing this whole thing with 7. And you can see that reflected in our output, where we're printing numbers less than 7. Not 7, but 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I don't know if you've noticed, but the default starting value for x is 0, and that's because Python is a zero-index language. So whenever Python starts counting, it's not like me and you, where if I count the dots, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, Python is different. Python counts the dots like so. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Python counts 4 dots. So this is extremely useful at times, more useful than you think it is really, but that's it for you. And this is how Python would output numbers in a range of length of a word. This word can be of any length. It can even be greater or less than this. And the funny thing is, instead of changing the number here, all you'd have to do is put in your word of choice here, which in some cases is very efficient. Now, let me introduce you to a different type of data called a list. A list is very special because a list can contain a few different elements. So let's say this list consists of all strings, but another list can consist of all characters. Another list can be numbers. And lists can even be mixes of them. Lists can have as many elements as you want. They can even be empty, and you can put things inside of them. So let's say we want to print, notice how there's no range here. We want to print each type of animal we have in our list animals. For x in the list animals, we're going to iterate through the values of animals, and we're going to print them out one by one, like so. We can also use a different way. Remember how I said Python is zero-indexed? Well, Python starts at 0, 1, 2, 3. So we can technically reach the element cal by telling Python to print animals 0. Animal 0 is the first element of animals. And this is cow. So with that logic, we can give a range, the length of animals, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And each time we print animals 0, animals 1, animals 2, animals 3, not animals 4, remember, because this has to be less than 4. And we obtain the same result as before. In the same way, we can go through a word. Just like a list, the word is also 0 indexed. And we can output a letter in a word just by saying for x in word and having this output. And also indexing the word by saying word 0, word 1, etc., etc. Now let's look at a fun scenario where, let's say, we want to create a program which takes the values in a list and prints out their sum. So this is a little bit harder. Let's say sum is 0, which it is at the beginning of our program, because remember, you always have to initialize your variables, which means give them a preliminary value. So we take the number 1, which is the first number, the first value of x in numbers, and we put it into sum. Sum is equal to sum plus x. Sum is equal to 0 plus 1. So now sum is 1. Let's go again. 2. Sum is equal to 1 plus 2. Sum is equal to 3. Let's go again. Sum is equal to sum plus x. So we went 1, we went 2. Now let's go 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Now let's do 4. Sum is equal to 6 plus 4, which is 10. And we go like this, so on, all the way to the end of the list, because we're iterating through all the numbers and numbers. And at the end, we print our sum, and the output is 55. Another example of this is, let's say we want to only add the even numbers in our list. So in this case, we'd use our fancy modulus operator. So now we're finally seeing a use for this goofy thing, am I right? So now, let's think. What is an even number? An even number is a number if you divide it by 2, any number, if you divide it by 2, there is no remainder. Yeah, that means the number is even. So if the number in this numbers, modulus 2, is equal to 0, which means if it is even, only then will I add it to sum. And at the end of my for loop, I print the sum out. And I output 30. And that's a quick little crash course on for loops, and I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to tune in to the next episode.